purposes of encounters. The first is that encounters improve the quality of our lives. The reason is because man is falling. And until man begins to have encounters with God, he will not rise to that point that God designed him to walk in. When God began the project of man, God was creating himself. God was done. He was exhausted and finished with creation. All the dimensions of glory that you can imagine are captured in the angelic realm. And when God was done doing that, he decided to carry out another project. And the next project God carried out was the project of recreating himself. And so let us make man in our own image, after our likeness. Let them have dominion. We have created angels in the order of light. We have created angels in the order of fire. We have created angels in the order of sound. But this time around, let's create something that is like ourselves, that can only be substantiated, understood, and known when you look upon us. So when God embarked on the project of creating man, he actually embarked on the project of creating himself. And that's why God had to hide the man in dust. Because if he allowed the man to walk around the way his reality is, you will see God walking on the street. And you may be tempted to begin to worship the man. So God decided to hide the man in dust, so that the glory and the excellencies of the man, unlike the angels, will not be bodily. Because when you see an angel, he carries his glory on his body. So there are certain angels that glow like the sun. There are certain angels that move like thunder. But the glory of man was hid inside of him. So it is in intimacy that that glory is manifested. It's until man takes off this earthly body that you will see the true substance of man. Because man is actually God in flesh. That was the plan of God. But when man fell, he reduced the quality of his existence, because he had bowed to another spirit that is not God. So the only way God will restore man back to that glorious pedestal where he created him to walk was to begin to reveal himself to him. So when the man sees God, he will see himself. When he sees God, it becomes a channel of the spirit to bringing that man back to his reality. You know, when you don't see what you look like, you will not know what you can do. Many times, a man may just waste until he sees somebody like him making exploit. And then he says, if this person can do this, then I can do it. Because what that thing comes to do is to remind you who you are. There are many young people today that are beginning to get revived. Not just because we preach revival messages, but when they look at us, they try to estimate our age. And they say, wait, this guy is doing this thing. I can do it. So every time we show up, we remind them of who they are, even before we begin to preach. And they are stirred up, and they begin to do great things. When God reveals himself to you, is to let you know that this is who you are. You are like me. And the more you see him, the more you become like him. That's why I said in 1 John 3 verse 2, it doth not yet appear what we shall be like, but when we shall see him, we shall be like him. So the goal of encounter is to make you become like God, because you were created in his image and in his likeness. So when God begins to bring encounters to us, is to improve the quality of our lives. When men don't have encounters, they will live as ordinary people, but we are not ordinary people. There is something about us. There is a God element in us, and until that God element is activated, life will not have meaning. So encounters come to activate the God element on our inside. Number two, encounters come to reveal to us the futility of life without God. When we don't have a relationship with God, anything that is of value can become a God to us. A car can become a God to us. A job can become a God to us. Just anything can become a God. But when we have seen the glory of God, nothing can compare to it. We thank the Lord for all that is done for us, but he is our pursuit. Thank God for the job. Thank God for the influence. Thank God for the power. Thank God for the gifts of the Spirit. But God is our pursuit. He is our shield and our exceeding great reward. Because when we have seen him, we know that every other thing we have will just be a tool for facilitating our walk with him. Because he becomes our obsession. Having seen him, nothing compares to him. So encounters will reveal to us the vanity of life without God. Number three, encounters will activate purpose and calling in our life. He said, before you were born, I knew you. I ordained you and I sanctified you to be a prophet unto the nations. So it will be difficult for you to find out the specific reason why you exist. There are many wisdom in this realm. There are many things dragging for your attention. There are many things you can do. There are many things you should do. But for you to find the exact purpose why you came into this world, it has to take the designer to tell you why you came. This phone I'm using can surf the internet. This phone I'm using has a touchlight. This phone I'm using, I can play songs in it. This phone I'm using, I can make calls with it. If I don't read the manual of this phone, I won't know the exact purpose for its creation. And I can have this phone and use it for touchlight. Imagine what a waste it would have been. That I have a phone like this and I'm using it for touchlight. I could easily just go get a touchlight for 500 naira. I don't need to use hundreds of thousands of naira to buy a touchlight. So if I get a phone like this and I'm using it for touchlight, when it can access the internet, it can make calls, I can use it to listen to messages and a lot of other things, and I'm just using it for touchlight. That means I need to consult the designer, because the phone is underrated and underused. That's what will happen to man if he doesn't have encounters. He will think he's a gossiper, and he will use his mouth just to talk about people. A mouth that should bless nations will be used to talk about people. When they say something is wrong here, he will sit down for 3 hours. And when he's done talking and exhaust talking, he will go to another place where something else is happening. He doesn't know why he came. That same mouth can be used to bet kings, to open doors to nations, but he has not discovered why he came. So he will waste it. A man who can change his generation can waste away if he doesn't have encounters. So when encounters come, they reveal to you purpose. And I said purpose is the reason for your creation. And I said calling is the strategy of God for fulfilling that reason for your creation. So there are two different things. One of them is why you